Hi everyone, it's Stephanie here and welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be using our new lip balm window and frame dynamics, and I'm also going to be using the lip balm pouches and the essential rip strips dynamics. And the reason I'm going to do this, I want to show you how you can use this die to kind of create a backing for the lip balm so that when you create a project, which I'm going to create a card here, you don't actually have to rip the whole project apart to get the lip balm out. The essential rip strips is going to allow you to create an opening in the back that can easily lift and take that lip balm out. So I have prepped some of the pieces for my card. So I have a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base, and I have a panel here that's cut to 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and it has a blue area at the top that I've created with some distress ink to be water, and then I have a snow hill at the bottom. Now I made sure to cut that snow hill big enough to fit the lip balm window, so I've attached it there with some repositionable tape. And I just ran that through my die cutting machine to cut that window out. So now you can see I have that opening there, and that is going to easily fit our lip balm pouch inside. And I also made sure when I placed it on there that I would have enough area at the top and bottom to cover up the lip area on the edges of the lip balm pouch. So you can see now I can layer this onto my card base and everything is going to fit nicely. So now I want to die cut that rip strip from the inside area of my card base. So what I'm doing is I'm opening up the card base and I'm going to temporarily adhere this panel to the front. And this is just going to allow me to know where the opening, that window is for the lip balm, so I know where I want to position the rip strip on the inside of the card base. So I'm going to temporarily adhere that, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to figure out where I need to put this rip strip so that it's going to line up with that window opening. Now what I do to do this, I find it super easy, is I just take my whole card base and go to a window and lift it up so I can see that opening where the window is. Having the light kind of shining through allows you to see where that window is. And then I just take some adhesive and I add it on there to hold it in place so that I can die cut it. So you can see now I've put it against the window. I figured out exactly where that window is, so I have my rip strip ready to go. So I'm just going to remove the panel because you don't want to cut through that. And I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. And what I'm going to be left with is that rip strip die, which stays completely intact until you actually pull on it to open it. And this is on the inside of the card so that when we fully assemble everything and then the recipient opens the card, they're going to have access to this rip strip piece inside. So now that I have that die cut, we can flip the card back over and we can work on putting everything together on the card front. So I'm just going to close that back up, turn it around, and you can see now on the card front we have the back of that rip strip. And you're not going to see that when we add everything onto the front here. I added the lip balm pouch into the window with some adhesive, and you can do this with any adhesive that you prefer. If you like liquid, you can definitely use that, or you can use score tape. An 1/8 inch piece of score tape is the perfect size to kind of go around that lip balm pouch. And then once you have that adhered in there, you can add your adhesive to the back of this cardstock panel to adhere it to your card base. So I like to use a really nice strong adhesive to adhere the panel onto the card just to make sure everything stays in place, and that lip balm can be a little bit heavy, so it's good to have a really nice strong adhesive. Now keep in mind though, when you are adding the adhesive to the back here, you want to make sure you don't put adhesive on the end of the lip balm pouch where the rip strip is going to start opening. And that's because you're going to glue that end of the rip strip completely to that panel and it's not going to open. And I know that because that's what I did on my card. So it did take me a few minutes to actually lift that edge of the rip strip because I didn't even think and I added adhesive. So you definitely don't want to do that. So I just added the adhesive to the whole backing of this panel and I added it right to the card front, and I lined it up exactly how I had lined it up originally, so I know that that front panel where the lip balm is going to line up perfectly with the rip strip that I have die cut on the inside. So I'm just going to finish off the card front by creating my little scene here. So I have some stamped images that I've stamped and colored from the new Polar Pal stamp set. And I'm just creating a little winter scene here on the card front. And I thought that the image of this walrus goes perfectly with that Can We Kiss and Make Up. I just thought it was super cute and thought it would work well together. So I add a little bit of shading under the walrus, and I also added an iceberg from our iceberg dynamics just for something extra there over on the side. And then that is going to complete our card front. Now I decided to add a little bit of sequin and silver stickles for a little bit of added detail and dimension. And once I have that completed, our card is finished and we have this really fun lip balm gift in the card, but we also have the rip strip on the inside, which is going to allow us to easily open this and not completely wreck the card by pulling everything apart. So you're going to see here when I open this up, that rip strip is right on the inside and it's lined up perfectly behind where that lip balm window is. Now once you start to pull it up, and I had to make sure I took off the adhesive there, so mine got a little beat up at the end, you can easily and quickly just pop that lip balm right out of that little opening, and you can add it right back in if you want as well. And we didn't do any damage to the actual card front. So this will work on tags or any type of project to allow the recipient to easily be able to remove that lip balm present. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you kind of get an idea of how you can combine these products together to create different projects, and I hope to see you in another video soon.